Oh, baby, am I excited. Welcome into Early Edge Live. It is the most comprehensive NFL pre-show in sports betting out there, and it's not close. Now, if you are brand new, welcome. Welcome to the community. Welcome to the family. We are powered, as always, by the almighty SportsLine, the best value in all of sports betting, and it's not close. I, of course, am your host, the coach. And I have at my disposal the best cappers, the best analysis, the best simulations in the land. Now, over the course of the next 60 minutes, here's what we're going to do. We're going to break down all 12 games this afternoon leading up to Sunday Night Football tonight, which could be the most unique situation that we've seen in a very, very long time because we don't know yet whether or not Dak Prescott is playing. So that changes the side, the totals, the props, everything. But what I do know is that we'll be here for a full hour tonight to break it all down, and I'm excited about it. But that's then, and this is now. So let's bring in the stars of the show. And I could not be more excited to see the three all-stars that I've got lined up for today. First and foremost, live from Nashville, Tennessee, we call him AB. Alan Bell, welcome to the Early Edge.
Good morning, Coach. How's everybody doing today?
Wait a second. Wait. I swear I didn't know that was going to. So, Mikey, I know this morning. So you're obviously dressed up as AB. I did not know you were going to start talking. So I guess I asked the question. AB, what do you think about Mikey's Halloween costume today?
Yeah, I mean, we've got to say, first off, it's amazing, right? Like, I was watching the show this morning, and I see that, and I was like, oh, my God, like, this is just unbelievable. And then he's drilling it not only with the hat and the shirt, he's got the cup. The impression is on point. Like, if anyone out there, if you wanted to know why M Squared is so good at what he does, it's the attention to detail. Like, this man doesn't miss a single thing. It's fantastic.
I like the fact that, Mikey, you had to think ahead to do this because if anybody knows anything about Chick-fil-A, what's the one thing they do not do?
Well, they're not open on Sundays unless you're managing. If you're managing,
Boom.
You have keys to the joint anytime.
That's true. That's true. They're not open on Sundays. So you had to go to Chick-fil-A yesterday to get that cup. Bottom
yesterday.
line.
Shout out to my girlfriend there. She actually went to Bass Pro Shops and got all this stuff last night before we went out to a party. So had to pick up a last minute. We went as a safari. So we had to pick up a map, and we figured Bass Pro Shops would be the place. So once she was there, it was game over. We had to dress up as AB for Sunday.
You better put a ring on that. Holy cow, she's allowing you to do that for Halloween. I'm all for it. So we've introduced M Squared. We've introduced the real AB, but the man of the hour, too sweet to be sour, the maestro. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, guys. We have some sad news in that Alex is having technical difficulties and won't be on the show, but he is texting me info as we speak that he wants given out on the show. I'm sure he's going to be watching from whatever device he can find.
This has got to be killing him not to be on the show today because of tech issues. Got to be killing him. But AB, Alex, we're thinking about you. We miss you. Hopefully things are fixed for tonight. If not, you've earned your day off. And by the way, the prop special that's in your feed right now, Alex is 8-2 the last 2 weeks on that show every Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern time is when we record that. But guys, we got a lot to get to, right? We got 12 games and less than 60 minutes to do it. So let's jump right in. By the way, let's pound that like button. You all know how important it is to the show. 200 likes, we're changing 2 lives. 400 likes, I'm changing 4 lives. 600 likes during the hour, we will change 6 more lives with year-long memberships to SportsLine, and there is no value on that. It's incredible. Come be a part of the family. All right, here we go. So, first game of the day, Panthers and the Falcons. The one thing that we've learned from Mikey is that when you look at a game that it kind of seems yucky, no, that's an opportunity. So, here's the numbers. Falcons 3, total 46.5. Here is where we stand as a unit. Matty Severance is on the Falcons money line, -150. RJ White on the Falcons -2.5 from our mega preview show on Tuesday. Dave Richard, Mike Davis, under 51.5 total yards. Alex, Maestro, why don't I come to you first? Because I believe this is exactly where you have Alex's play. What's up?
Yeah, 2 things in this game. Ridley is out for the Falcons, so that's pretty big. And second of all, here is the play from Alex. He says, please give out Robbie Anderson under 4.5 catches. He has caught 5 passes just one time this season. He's caught less than 40% of his targets. There's no chemistry with him and Sam Darnold. He leads the league in drops. He's gone under this 6 out of 7 games. Minus 130 at MGM. Robbie Anderson under 4.5 from Alex.
It would have been amazing if he would have written like a minute worth of stuff and you would have read it just like he reads it. Oh my God, that would have been hilarious. Maybe that's something we need to do for him next time he's on the show. Yeah, I love when he goes on his whole big rants because he's so excited about a prop. All right, so that's an official play on the show from Prop Stars. Robbie Anderson under 4.5 catches. And then the jeweler put the Panthers in a teaser on the morning show +9. So a lot of plays on this game. But Maestro, let me come back to you, start the conversation. Is this a game you're looking at that you like the Falcons since we're already on them? Or how are you looking at this particular game? Falcons, they're 3-3.
Yeah, I'm on the Panthers in this game. Once I was able to get a full field goal, I know it's ugly. I know they've been terrible. Nobody wants to bet this team. I mean, they just scored 3 points at the Giants. But I think the vote of confidence in Sam Darnold is going to actually pay dividends because the Falcons are not going to pressure him. DJ Moore should have a huge day. AJ Terrell, hope I'm pronouncing that right, is not going to shadow him. He is an amazing corner for the Falcons. I just think the Falcons should not be laying a full field goal to pretty much anyone except maybe the Jets or the Texans with Davis Mills. I think the Panthers defense is going to show up, and Jeremy Chin is really locking down tight ends when he's had a chance. So I think Kyle Pitts is not going to go off completely like he has been. I'm sure he'll get, 70, 80, but I don't think he's going to 150 or whatever he got last week.
AB, what do you got?
Yeah, some interesting stats in this game. You look at Sam Darnold. He's one of the few quarterbacks in the NFL who's actually thrown more interceptions than touchdown passes this year. But in the first 2 or 3 games, he was rushing them in, right? And you look at what the Panthers have done the last couple of weeks. Yes, Maestro's correct. They're almost impossible to bet. But if you look at what Sam Darnold has done this season, he's got a 61% comp. The Atlanta Falcons are allowing 71% of passes to be completed this year. So I kind of dig with Maestro on this one. I think he's spot on here.
Interesting. Chat question, Mikey. Kyle Pitts over 5.5 catches, -113. Over 70.5 receiving yards. Don't have the number on that. Your thoughts?
I would lean towards the over on the receptions and, frankly, the yards, but I don't feel great about it as I do think that the defense is still a little stingy against the tight end position. But the opportunity should be there. With Calvin Ridley being out, that certainly helps this game remain competitive, and that's what you're going to want for Kyle Pitts. It's going to be him and Cordell Patterson that's going to be taking a lot of the usage here. So I don't have it as an official play. Not something that I would play at that number, as it still is a big number. But if there was a week where he would have the opportunity to get there, this is the week for it. So I lean over. I have the number closer to 6. I have the receiving number about 73. I didn't even hear what the yardage number was, but I assume it was
70 and a half.
70 and a half, yeah. So
Yep.
I have a slight lean towards the over, but not strong enough for me to make it an official play or anything like that. But if you like the play yourself, the numbers say that it's fine. It's not a negative EV play in any means. So just understand that it's mostly a coin flip. But if you have reasons to like it, the data certainly isn't working against you.
All right. Now, normally we don't do this in the first game on the show, but since AB is on the Panthers, and the Maestro is on the Panthers, I believe I can suck one of you into a SportsLine showdown, and I'll give you the 3, and I'll take the Falcons. Anybody? Any takers?
You're giving us the 3. I mean, you're giving us the current line. That's not like a deal.
Correct. Well, sometimes we do money lines. Sometimes
you
we do straight across the board.
You made it sound like you were giving me some kind of a deal.
Well, apparently you love the Panthers. Do you want it or you not?
I don't love it, but I will do a showdown. I mean, it's an official pick for me on the website, not on the show, but I'll do a showdown for you.
AB?
Yeah, I'll tell you this. I'll let Maestro have this one. Let you two go ahead.
Okay, very good.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
I was just throwing one thing. This is from Alex. We had some chat questions about DJ Moore. Alex posted DJ Moore when it was 78.5. DJ Moore is up to about 85.5. Alex said his ceiling is 82.5. He would not go over anything higher than that.
Okay, very good. Thank you for that. In order to really lock in a SportsLine showdown, there's one thing left that we have to do. Jeweler, if you could, please. Boom, lock it in. All right, moving on. I love that so much. All right, game number 2. Oh, it's going to be tough for the Dolphins up in Buffalo today. The Bills. This feels like a best bet to me, and they're laying 14 points. 48.5 is the total. Here is where we stand as a show. Mad Max is on Josh Allen over 2.5 passing touchdowns plus 120. And AB, I'm going to come to you first because you and the Maestro both have plays in this game. What do you got?
Yep. So first off, I'm on the Bills minus 13.5. I'm also on Josh Allen over 285.5 yards passing. You look at this is a nightmare scenario for Miami. 2 weeks ago, they come from London. They did not get a bye. They lose to Atlanta. Now they have to go to Buffalo, which the Bills are coming off of a bye, off of an embarrassing loss to Tennessee on Monday Night Football. So they're angry, excuse me, to get right back on track. Buffalo's already defeated Miami in week 2, 35-0 in that game. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, the Dolphins might be trading their starting quarterback at any moment. So him and the locker room knows that as well. So, yeah, give me those two in this one.
All right. So we're on the over in Josh Allen passing yards, the over in touchdown passes. But, Maestro, you're on the other side of, or you're on the same side of the fence, different player. Who do you got?
Emmanuel Sanders over 53.5 receiving yards. And I see a chat question. Do we like his reception over 22.5? I do. This is his deep sideline route, which is one of the routes that the Dolphins have not been able to cover this year. So they correlate, obviously. I played the total yards 53.5, but I'm also good with the 22.5.
All right, very good. By the way, Miami 0-4 against the spread dating back to week 4. AB, what do you got?
Yeah, so I just wanted to say the last 2 times that Buffalo's played Miami, they beat them by 30-plus points each. Also, the Miami Dolphins play man coverage on defense 49% of the time, which is the most in the NFL. Josh Allen is going to have a lot of one-on-one situations here. Yeah, it's a smart play.
I like it. I like it a lot. All right, moving on to game number 3. And this, we're going to the Windy City. We're going to Chi-Town, baby. 49ers on the road laying 4 against the Bears. Justin Fields and company, the total sitting at a very low 40. Here's where we stand as a show. Dave is on Khalil Herbert over 70.5 total yards. Now, Mikey, I'm coming to you because you have a very tasty teaser that I love in this game. Talk to me.
Yeah, I have the Bears in a teaser, and actually you get a little better line on them, but unfortunately I teased them with the Colts, and you're not going to be able to get that line anymore. So I have the Bears plus 9.5 teased with the Colts plus 7.5 from the Tuesday show. I like the spot for the Bears. It's the 49ers traveling east, switching time zones here. It's not fully on the East Coast, obviously, but still moving 2 time zones. Not insignificant in this league. I know the Bears are playing without head coach Matt Nagy. I don't think that's really much of a loss. It might actually be a positive thing for this Bears offense. So I think that they keep it within the number. This 49ers team has a tendency to kind of play to the level of the opponent that they play. With this being on the road, I do think the Bears keep it within the 9.5. So I like the Bears teased, and there are a few other teams you could tease them with still. Like I said, unfortunately, if you didn't get the game on Tuesday, the line has moved so much in that Colts Titans game that's not going to be an option to get the Colts at plus 7.5 anymore. But I do still like the Bears at plus 10 in a teaser.
Which is why we say all the time, what, Mikey? You got to watch the mega preview, right? You got to watch it when we do it on Tuesday because lines move so much. That's why the show's called The Early Edge. Now, we do have a side on this. Maestro, what do you got?
I like the Bears, and I was happy to see the injury report with Hakeem Hicks looks to be in. Bilal Nichols looks to be in. The Niners are not going to have Dee Ford. They're not going to have Maurice Hurst. It's not a play I feel great about, given how bad the Bears offense has been, but just laying 4. I mean, I took it stupidly at 3.5. I thought it was going to go down to 3. It went up to 4. Laying this many points with a Kyle Shanahan team, 5-13-1 against the number when laying more than a field goal. And mainly it's the Bears have just looked like a competent team at home and an absolute disaster on the road. I'm banking on that home field to keep it close.
AB?
Yeah, just a quick little nugget in this game. Justin Fields as a starting quarterback in the NFL, 5-0 to the under. Just putting that out there.
Very, very interesting. I would actually back the Maestro on this because the 49ers, to me, are sliding down a very slippery slope, and I don't think they can stop themselves. And to lay 4 on the road against a really good defense, I would take that. I would take that too. So, Maestro, I got you on that. Not that that helps you in any way or makes you feel better about it, but, you got me. All right, moving on. Game number 4, and this is going to be a big-time game in the AFC North, and I want everybody's take on this one, okay? Because this is very, very interesting. You've got the Browns laying 4, the total at 43. Here's where we stand as a show. Prop stars is on Pat Freiermuth, over 21.5 receiving yards. Dave Richard from our prop show, also on Freiermuth, over 2.5 catches. Now, here's the caveat, guys. Baker Mayfield has been cleared to play. He will start today. Is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? Maestro, let's start with you, but I want everybody's take.
I don't think it's a net plus or minus. I think it's about the same as Case Keenum. I think they're going to run the ball all day. Their offensive line is healthier. I'm on the Browns under their team total of 23.5. TJ Watt is healthy. The Steelers had extra time to get ready for this. And on the road, they do play a lot of low scoring games. So I'm looking like for a 20-17 grinder and going under on the Browns team total.
All right. Mikey?
Yeah, I lean towards the Browns still in this game. I think I lean towards the under overall in the game, but I think we're going to see a heavy dose of Nick Chubb and Dearness Johnson. I think they're going to try and run the football. I think they're going to have success doing that against Pittsburgh here. But yeah, the only thing I'd be interested in here would be unders pretty much across the board.
Okay. AB, Big Ben in his career, hopefully I'm not taking a stat from you, 11-2-1 in Cleveland. Talk to me.
Yeah, he is. The problem is that this year, when Ben Roethlisberger is under pressure, he has 3 times as many interceptions as he does touchdown passes. And it's a bad spot because Cleveland gets pressure on quarterbacks 36% of the time, the most in the NFL.
Mikey, Big Daddy said, I can't believe I just said that. The total for the first half is 20.5. The winds are going to be 50 miles per hour. You just said you would lean towards unders. Would you like that first half play?
I do like the first half under there. I haven't played it myself, but it's definitely a pretty strong lean for me. I do think that both teams are going to milk the clock a little bit, especially the Cleveland side. We're going to see some long, sustained drives from them. I think that they're going to be very careful to not turn the ball over. And as long as they can continue to run the football, which there's no signs of them stopping, that they're healthier on the offensive line again. Now they've got Chubb back with Dearness Johnson. I just think they're going to run the football, milk the clock, especially early in the game. You might see more desperation situations in the second half, but I would even look at the first quarter under as well.
A first quarter under that I believe you hit in the Michigan State game, did you not?
We did, yes.
Yes, you did. A little bit of a sweat, but hey, a good sweat.
First quarter under is always a sweat. First quarter under is always a sweat.
You know what's not a sweat is when I hand out memberships to join us at SportsLine. And we have 2 winners because you all did your job. 200 likes. Now let's get to 400. Here's our first winners of the day. At Jamie Ross 5699 and at Maddie Ridge. So at Jamie Ross 5699, at Maddie Ridge. But I still see Tyler and Sean Kelsey, my girls, back. Sean, so Kyle, all of you, I see you in the chat. Keep it coming. Stay active. Don't forget, you got to leave your Twitter handle so we have a way of picking you out as a winner. Whenever you give us a stat or a comment, just leave your Twitter handle in the chat so we can get a hold of you. All right, let's move on to the next game, guys. Eagles -3 at Detroit. Total 48. Here's where we stand as a show. Mikey, you're the only one that has an official play here, so I'll let you start.
Yeah, I'm taking the over here, 48.5. I'd play it up all the way over 50. I think this thing turns into a massive shootout with these two teams. I think that it has largely been disappointing seasons for both of them. However, I do think they're going to be able to move the football. I like this Lions team is going to get a win at some point here like this. So I think that this could potentially be the spot, but we're looking at a shootout here. And I kind of like that Miles Sanders is out just a little bit. I think that they've got some playmakers that are going to catch some passes out of the backfield. So I lean towards the over pretty strongly. I mean, I've played the official play on it, but I would continue to play it all the way up. This is one where I'd also consider playing an alternate total. If you don't want to lay any juice on it, play it all the way up to like 51.5, get it at plus 110, 120, somewhere in that range. I think that this game is one that it's either going to be 58 plus points or we're only scoring 35 in this game. So I don't think it's going to be particularly close at the number on the board right now. So like I said, if you're someone who doesn't want to lay the -110, -115, whatever your book has, this one's definitely a candidate to take a few points up and get some plus money on it.
AB, let me ask you this. Mikey just said a couple of minutes ago that he would tease. What's the team that we were teasing? That we already did the +9.5.
Bears.
Talk to me. All right, Bears.
Yeah, Bears +10 right now. Yep.
There you go, +10. So would this be a situation, AB, that you would tease the Lions up to that 9 or 10 number and have those two together? Would you like that?
Yeah, I do. Just because I don't think that you're going to see a Philadelphia Eagles team, even if they win, I don't think that it's going to be some massive blowout, right? They don't run the ball seemingly at all unless it's Jalen Hurts. Now, the problem with the Lions is that they allow 86% of opponents' red zone drives into the touchdown. So if they could get a hold of that, you're going to see a really tight game. And I agree with what M Squared said in terms of the Lions. They're better than their 0-7 record suggests. I know it sounds crazy, but look who they've played. The Rams, the Ravens, the Bengals, the Packers.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they have played almost all playoff teams, and they keep coming back and keep fighting. So long story short, I agree with M Squared on his philosophy there in the game, and I agree on the teaser as well.
Maestro.
One interesting note on this game, it seems to be a pros Joe's split with 68%, 69% of the tickets on the Lions, but 72% of the money on the Eagles. And this is the third straight week that the Eagles money has just poured in from professional bettors. And it hasn't really, well, I guess they got there with the Buccaneers with that late cover, but it was totally wrong when they played the Raiders. They were, not even competitive in that game. I definitely lead Eagles here at only a field goal, though.
Okay, so Maestro likes the Eagles. Mikey, let me come back to you. Our girl Kelsey has a question. Jalen Hurts over 44.5 rushing yards, -113. Your thoughts?
I like it just because I think the game's going to be competitive. They're not going to have Miles Sanders back there, and I do see him taking off a few times in this game. I think that even though they are the better team, they're favored. I do think that there's a pretty strong chance they find themselves trailing in this game still, and there still will be some desperation time. So I would lean towards the over on that one for sure.
All right, AB?
Yeah, really quickly, going off of Jalen Hurts in terms of rushing, understand this number. He has 25 first downs rushing this season. That's sixth most in the NFL. Not sixth most in quarterbacks, sixth most in the NFL. That's how much Jalen Hurts rushes for this offense.
All right, very good. So I like that analysis. By the way, we're all about you at home, the fans. And if we make a mistake, damn it, we're going to fix it. Paul in the chat said, hey, I won a free sub a few weeks ago, and I never got it. Well, guess what, Paul? You left your Twitter handle. We're going to remedy that today when the show is over, okay? But we also have some new people. Jahay, hopefully, I'm sure I butchered your name. Scott, welcome to the show. He says, first time making a live show. What's up, fellas? Let's get this money. We have so many new people joining us every single day, just like Jahay, and welcome. We want everybody here. Tell your friends. We don't care who it is. Everybody is welcome here, and you're respected here. All right, let's move on to the next game. Now, this one, again, I want everybody's take because this is going to be a very, very popular game to bet on and also to watch today. Titans at the Colts, -3. The total is sitting on 51. Here's where we stand as a show. Actually, I'm not going to tell you because I've got the two guys that have official plays, and I'm staring at them right now. So, AB, how about you start?
Yep, we're going to go with Derrick Henry, longest rush over 17.5 yards. He's hit this number in 5 of 7 games this year. He's, in fact, hit it in 6 straight against the Colts, right? So I think that we're going to see Derrick Henry be leaned on a lot in this game because Indianapolis has to win this game. If they don't, Tennessee's probably going to sweep the AFC South. Indy would go to 3-5. Seemingly their playoff hopes would almost be done. Also, another nugget in this game. Ryan Tannehill, as you see on the screen, 2-0 straight up and 2-0 against a spread on the road at Indy with Tennessee. But this year, we broke down that nugget. All 5 of Ryan Tannehill's interceptions have been at home this year. 40% of them are against Indianapolis, though.
Interesting. Maestro, what do you got?
I have a prop on this game with A.J. Brown over 74.5 at FanDuel. There's no Julio Jones, and the Colts, despite what AB said, and I'm sure Derrick Henry will get his yards and get a massive workload, but they have the #1 rush defense according to all the advanced metrics. So it's not going to be easy sledding for Henry, but I do think, with all the touches, he's likely to break one for 18 yards. A.J. Brown is on a mission the last couple weeks. I mean, look at these numbers, 133, 91, and he had 9 targets each of the past 2 weeks. Is he probably going to get double-digit targets today? And they held him out of practice Friday, which definitely worried me, but he didn't get an injury designation. He's active. I'm wondering if that was just, let's protect this guy. He did get in some practice Wednesday, Thursday. Let's just have him ready for the game.
Okay, very, very good. Now, let me ask you this because I'm looking it up real quick. The catch total for A.J. Brown, Maestro, is over 5.5, juiced at -142. Would you like that?
That's a lot of juice. Look at his last 2 games, though, when he's been healthy with a full snap count, 7 catches, 8 catches. He did do nothing against the Colts, but that's because he got hurt after 8 snaps the first time around. So I would lean over, but that's a lot of juice to play.
Yeah, it really is. I don't mind the number. I just don't like the juice. AB, what do you got?
Yeah, so real quick for anybody that's betting props here, if you want kind of a deep cut play, the Titans have thrown 17 screens to running backs this season. That's the most in the NFL. They're averaging 10.3 per attempt. Take a look at a running back named Jeremy McNichols, okay? Darrington Evans, their backup running back behind Derrick Henry, is on IR. He's out for the season. They're going to get some to Derrick Henry, but they're going to have to spell him, and they don't normally use him on third downs. Take a look if you can find Jeremy McNichols, because you'll see a really low number. He'll get some looks today.
Okay, very good. I'm looking right now, and I don't have any up yet, but I'm sure that can change over the course of the next 30 minutes or so. My man Chris in the chat saying exactly what I was thinking. How in the world are there almost 800 people watching right now, and we can't get to 400 likes? All you got to do, take down the comments, hit that like button for me, please. Then put them right back up and continue in the chat. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. Okay, now let's move on. We have 12 games to get to. This next one. If I would have told you guys a year ago, 2 years ago, that the Bengals would be in first place, that the Bengals would be a double-digit favorite over anybody on the road, you would have told me I was crazy. But that's exactly where we find ourselves today. Mikey, I'm going to have you start this, okay? We've got a bunch of plays on this game, and you're the only one who does not. All right? It's 11. The total's 43. I just want your thoughts on the Bengals being an 11-point favorite over the Jets.
They've earned it. You know, early in the season, we doubted them just a little bit, but they continue to go out there and win football games convincingly like that. They play competitive games. That game against the Packers, turns out the Packers are a very good team still. You know, I liked them at -9.5. I think that there's probably still a little bit left on the bone here, even at 11. I think it should be closer to 12.5. It's amazing. I don't know how you don't make the Jets the worst team in the NFL today, this week, in their current situation with the quarterback situation that they have. So I'm not going to play it now at this number, but I would certainly lean there. They're the better team. I do think it's a potential letdown spot where they could get backdoored, but if there's a team out there that's going to backdoor cover, I'd like to see them do it with their current quarterback situation. So if they do, it's going to be a lot of dumping passes to Michael Carter, and he's going to rack up yards and find himself in the end zone. But I don't see how you're not playing Bengals or staying away completely in this one.
I feel like one of the four of us could play quarterback for the Jets today based off of what they're going to go after. All right, now we've got a bunch of plays in this game. But before I get to AB and the Maestro, we have a very, very important guest that would like to hop into the show. And look who it is. The man who runs it all, the jeweler. What do you got for us today, jeweler?
I've got a little trivia question for the chat. Okay. And so in order to answer, I need you to leave what your answer is and your Twitter handle for it. Okay.
Okay. All
so
right.
The Bengals are a double-digit road favorite for the first time since 1983.
Okay.
I was not born that year, but I do in front of me have the team that they were playing against. What was the team that they were playing against on the road?
Interesting. Okay. So who were the Bengals playing on the road the last time they were a double-digit road favorite in 1983? Correct. Leave your answer. Leave your Twitter handle. Do they get something, jeweler?
They'll get a year-long subscription to SportsLine.
Boom! That's what I'm talking about.
Or if they're already, someone who's won in the past, then I will hook them up with the t-shirt or a pint glass, whatever they want.
Oh, the pint glass has been very, very, very popular as of late. All right. So you guys have your very small marching orders from the jeweler. So let's see who can be the first one to get that. All right. Now back to the game. Now, RJ White, he was on the Bengals again. Mega preview. This was only a 9.5. If you would have bet it on Tuesday, it's now up to 11. Again, another example. So Prop Stars is on Mike White over 33.5 passing attempts today. He believes he's just going to be throwing. Dave, from our props special, Michael Carter over 18.5 receiving yards, Tyler Boyd under 44.5 receiving yards, and Evan McPherson, I can't unsee that video, over 1.5 field goals at plus 100 this morning on SportsLine Twitter. Now, the jeweler also put the Jets into a teaser, a spooky gym teaser, if you will, at plus 17. Now, Maestro, I know you've got 2 plays in this game. Talk to me.
Well, I was late to the party on Michael Carter. I'm still going over his receiving yards like Dave. It correlates to Alex's talk about Mike White throwing a lot of short passes. And let's just complete a few screens and get over that number. The other one is Jamar Chase. It's just a heat check play over 75.5. I believe I posted it on Twitter a couple of days ago, whatever it was, 75 or 76. Just purely a heat check. This guy looks like the best receiver pretty much in football. And as long as it's not, 31-0 in the first half, I think they'll keep throwing for a while. And, you just love this guy. Just don't think it's high enough. I think pretty soon, next week, assuming he keeps playing like it is, it's got to be in the 80s.
Okay. Very good. All right. I love Jamar Chase too. This dude is going to be, barring injury, he's got like Hall of Fame type talent. That's how good this dude is. All right, AB, I got 2 things I need you to do. Okay. The first thing is I need to bring up a text from the chat. Flooby Badoop says, Coach, last week I lost 800 on college football, but made 800 on props. This week I made 100 on college football. Can we make 800 again? So clearly, what is Flooby not doing if he only won 100 on college football yesterday?
Well, he's not paying attention to the college football weekly preview show because we went 8-3 this week, which brings us to 58.2% against the spread this season. Yeah, phenomenal. The boys were on fire. And our man, Micah Roberts, dude, the guy can't be stopped. He was just crushing it. So, yeah, Wednesday, 3 p.m. Eastern, make sure you pay attention, watch that show. It'll pay you money.
Flooby, stop. Well, whoever you're playing with, stop. Just stop. All right. AB, I know you got to play on the game. What do you got?
Yeah, we're going to go Jamar Chase, longest reception over 27.5 yards. Look, it correlates with what Maestro was just talking about. It's a heat check play. Like, he's hit this number in 7 of 7 games this season. There's nothing that tells you to stop playing Jamar Chase props in this one. Also, I'll give you a nugget here. The New York Jets are the only team in the NFL that have not recorded an interception this season. The Cincinnati Bengals have thrown an interception on 3.8% of their passes this year, which is 3rd most in the NFL. So something's got to give right there. However, I am sticking with Jamar Chase over 27.5, his longest reception.
Oh, I love that. That dude get just one catch and it could be for 80 yards. So I love that. All right. So I'm happy right now, but I'm also a little bit perturbed. So we just hit 400 likes. So we are in the process of finding the next 4 winners of year-long memberships to SportsLine. However, in the chat, Thomas says this. Let me find it. Where's Thomas? Yeah, he says, no offense, but the college football show is the best of the SportsLine shows. That's the only show that I'm not on. That's the only show that I'm not on.
Thomas,
I don't even know how to take that.
I was going to say, Thomas is lining himself up for a nice set of gifts this Christmas. Well done.
Hey, Thomas, no offense taken. And I watch that show like a fan, just like everybody else. Now, I may or may not get the picks earlier than you do, but that's one of the perks of running the show. All right, moving on. Our next game, and this one is also very, very interesting. The only play we have on this one is RJ White. So the Rams are going on the road. I never thought that we'd have one team in the same season be at least 15-point favorites or more twice. The Rams are laying 16. The total 46.5. The Rams are 6-1 straight up, only 4-3 against the spread. RJ White had the Texans at 14.5. He told you might want to wait. This could go up. RJ White, he is the GOAT. It has gone up to 16. So, Maestro, let me come to you. Well, your thoughts on this game? Is it a stay away for you?
Definitely a stay away for me, and I might believe it's also a stay away for RJ at this point. I want to text him on this because he made that play thinking there was a really good chance Tyrod Taylor would be back. He was practicing. He's not playing. It's Davis Mills. So I'm going to check in with him right now and ask him what he'll do at -16.
Okay, very good. And we will get that information as soon as RJ texts him back. Cody in the chat says, when you guys say you're betting a unit, how much are you talking about? Cody, that's completely up to you. Whatever you're comfortable with. But understand, we recommend everything to be the same. Then if we say a half a unit, so if $100 is where you're comfortable, make it $100. If it's 50, make it 50. But that's all you. All four of us, our unit sizes are different. They're just different. So it's completely up to you. But don't do something you're not comfortable with. And if you can't lose at least 4 or 5 in a row, you're betting too much. You're betting too much. All right, moving on, because that's a complete stay away for most of us. All right, now we're to the 4 o'clock games now, and we're really moving. We're really shaking. This one, I think, has the potential to be one of the games of the day. And I'm going to start with you, AB. We have no official plays on the show, but I'd love everybody's take. The Patriots beat the Jets last week 54-13, blew the doors off. The Chargers had a bye, so they should be as healthy as they've been all season, and they should be ready to go. However, their last game, guys, 34-6 pounding in Baltimore in week 6. So the Chargers are laying 4. AB, the total is 50.5. Your thoughts on this game?
Yeah. What, Jeweler or anybody here, help me out. How many games have the Patriots played? Is it 7? Is that correct?
Yes, 7.
7. Yep. Guess
Yes.
what? I think they're 3-4. Their 3 wins have all come against rookie quarterbacks. If it's not a rookie quarterback, they haven't won that game. See? Right there. 0-4 versus non-rookies. That's the problem. And New England has turned the ball over 11 times this season. What do they do best on defense? They get turnovers. They're a good defensive team. Now, you're looking at a number which M Squared could talk more about when it gets to 5.5 of it being a key number. He knows way more than I do on that. But this one, I don't have a play on it, but I would have to lean towards Los Angeles here. Just my thoughts.
Okay. All right. I'll get to Mikey and Maestro in a second. Real quick, question in the chat. Would you play Jamar Chase's longest reception up to 29.5?
Yeah, I would. I believe that he's hit 30 plus in every game this season. So
very good. All right, Maestro. Perfect timing by Chief. He has got to make an appearance on the show today. While Mikey goes to get Chief, Maestro, your thoughts on this game today?
I think not only are the Patriots Chiefs dog of the day, but they're the professionals dog of the day. This line has come crashing down to 4. According to Caesars, 59% of the bets on the Chargers, 92% of the money on the Patriots. They can run the ball. We saw that last week. I would point out, even though they haven't beaten anyone else other than Jets and Texans, they probably should have beaten the Cowboys. They definitely should have beaten the Dolphins. So not as bad as their 3-4 record. So that's the play right now from the professionals. They've been piling on the Pats.
Okay. I like that. Love the stats from how many tickets are on each team. So I love when you bring that, Maestro, very, very much. Now, for those of you who are kind of newer, say in the last 3 or 4 months, you may have never gotten to see Chief. You may have not got to hear this for Chief's dog of the day. Chiefs dog of the day. Okay. That was an epic fail. There we go. Oh, that was wow. That was so bad. What do you got, Maestro?
I have an update from RJ.
Yeah, give it to me.
The Rams-Texans line is inflated, should be about 13, but this is a quote from him: 0 interest in backing Davis Mills at this point.
Hey, can I say one thing real quick? I'm sorry that you brought up that Rams-Texans game. If you're looking at props, because I agree that this game is ugly, that's a big number. But if you're looking at props, the Texans are the second worst team in the NFL at getting pressure on quarterbacks. Matthew Stafford and those receivers are going to have so much time to get open. So just something to keep an eye on there.
Would you, Mikey, play the Rams? I'm saying Rams, Patriots in a teaser up to 10?
I would, yeah. I do think that they can keep it within 10. I think that's what they do. The Chargers, frankly, do the same thing. They kind of play to the level of the opponent. They are going to invite the Patriots to run the ball. That's going to kill the clock a little bit. Patriots will be content to manage this game and run the clock as well. So I do like the Patriots in a teaser at 10.
Do we think, Maestro, that maybe because they scored 54 last week against the Jets, that the Patriots, some of their numbers, some of their lines have been inflated a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of respect being put into that game, which really was not a game. And they've just always manhandled the Jets. I think it's 12 straight wins and usually blow them out. So, yeah, that's working into the line. The Chargers coming off a bye is working into the line. They were embarrassed before the bye. So you got to think that this is going to be a very focused group, especially with what happened last year, 45-0 against Justin Herbert in LA last year.
All right. Random chat question. Antonio Gibson, over 7.5 receiving yards. Very, very low, -115. Mikey, your thoughts?
I mean, anytime you have it that low with someone's going to be on the field, I think it's fine because you're looking at one catch. He's typically not the guy that's getting the work there, though. So it's not something that I would end up playing on this one. But if you like it, I think it's fine. Typically, when they get in a game script where they're trailing, he's not going to be the one catching the passes. So I don't have a strong take on it. Other than if you have a reason to really like it, I'm not going to knock you on it when it's a number less than 10 that can be had on one catch. You know, he's obviously a very talented player, so not going to knock it, but not going to play it myself.
All right. AB, let me come to you. You had the Bills stats of the year earlier today. Chat question from Scott. Bills first half is -8. Do you think they come out of the gates fast?
Yes, absolutely. I think that they come out of the gate firing. If you don't want to play a double-digit spread, I totally understand. Yeah, that's an excellent play.
All right. I like that too. All right. Moving on. Another 4:00 game this afternoon. And again, this is one of those games that screams yuck, especially if you watched Geno and the Seahawks last week, but they're going to play it. -4, the total 44.5. The Jags are in kind of a similar spot to the Lions. They play really, really hard. They haven't played great all year, but they play really hard. And Trevor Lawrence wants to be a good quarterback. Here is where we stand on the show. Prop Stars is on James Robinson over 69.5 rush yards, -115. He believes that if the Jags are going to win this game, they've got to keep it close, shorten the game, and that means run the ball a lot, feeding it to James Robinson. Now, Maestro, I know you're on a side. Which side is it?
I'm on the Seahawks at -3, but I'm not touching it above that with this limited offense. I do think they get on track. DK Metcalf should have a massive day. This Jag secondary gives up a lot of explosive plays, and they're hard to run on. But the main thing is a rookie head coach. They have been terrible off the bye this year. And I think specifically this team, rookie quarterback, rookie head coach, toughest environment to play in that they've seen. And this is an all-in must-win game for the Seahawks season right now. The Jaguars could be a little bit happy after that win, a relaxing week off. So I laid a field goal, but I wouldn't lay anymore.
All right. Very good. You heard it straight from the Maestro. AB, talk to me.
Yeah, going off what Prop Stars was talking about in regards to his James Robinson prop there. Look, the Jaguars lead the NFL in rush yards per play to the left side. The Seahawks are the worst in the NFL defending rushes to that side. So I love that play from him. That's a sweet play right there because not a lot of people are going to look at it.
And that is next level handicapping by you. I guarantee you nobody is looking at that. Damn. Boy, we're becoming so popular, Maestro. People are trying to challenge you to SportsLine showdowns, and if they win, they want to get an early edge T-shirt. I think that's kind of creative. But you're not going to take it because they won it at +4, and you said you'd only play it -3.
And so, Sean is the #1 Jags fan out there. I love going back and forth and hearing from Sean, but he is the Jags homer to the end.
Oh, that's good to know. I may suck him in one of these days. I may just suck him into a SportsLine showdown. I'm not opposed to having a showdown with somebody in the chat. I'm not. Just got to be the right spot. And I know Mikey isn't. Mikey's ready, willing, and incredibly able to do that as well. All right, now, 2 more games to get to in the next 14 minutes. And the last one is a game that I'm very much looking forward to today. But before we get there, there's this one. Washington, Denver. The Broncos laying 4, the total at 44. Washington 2-5 straight up, 1-6 against the spread in 2021. The Broncos 3-4 straight up, but of course they started 3-0 and 3-4 against the spread. So we have no official plays on the game, but Maestro, I know you would love to say something.
I just got an incoming text from Alex. This guy cannot stay away. He is on Jerry Jeudy, who did not really practice a lot this week, if my memory serves correct, but he's going to play. It's his first game back. He's obviously the best receiver they have. He went over 40.5 receiving yards, and he said he would play it up to 44.5. Listen to this. Washington gives up the second most receiving yards to opposing wideouts. They're near the bottom in pretty much every metric in terms of passing defense, and he believes Jeudy will play a full complement of snaps. That's what he's reading and hearing. So Jeudy over 40.5, up to 44.5.
Up to 44.5. All right. Thank you, Alex, very much. I feel like Alex's spirit is truly with us today, as he's probably sitting at home right now driving himself bonkers because he can't be on the show. Nobody likes being on the show more than him. I can promise you that.
He's got these tidbits in his head that are just like he can't get them out.
Oh man. For all of you, for those of you who are new, and I know we had a couple people who texted us, Prop Stars is our props guru. He's amazing. He's such a big part of the team, and he just had some tech issues today, or he would be on the show because he is amazing. He is amazing. I can't wait for those of you who are new to experience what we experience every single day. All right. Now, this last game, it's worth a few more minutes, right? Because I feel like that Tom Brady, no matter when he's playing, deserves a little bit more time. And I'll be honest with you, I'm a little surprised at this number. I feel like this is a setup. I feel like it's a trick. The Bucs on the road, laying 4 against the fighting Jameis Winstons and the New Orleans Saints. The total of 48.5. The Bucs are 6-1 straight up. However, just 3-4 against the spread. Saints 4-2 straight up. However, just 3-3 against the spread. The Bucs coming off a 38-3 pounding of the Chicago Bears. The Saints slugged through that 13-10 win in Seattle. So here is where we are on the show. The jeweler put them in, meaning the Saints, part of that spooky teaser this morning on Early Edge, plus the 10. So, Mikey, let me have you start the conversation. Do you like this number and or total? Talk to me.
I like the number a lot more when you're getting 5.5. A lot of the value's been bet out of it, but I do like the Saints. I do think they're live to actually win this game. I think that they're finally healthy. They're getting some bodies back on the defensive side. They have some back on the offensive side with another week of practice there. I think it opens up Alvin Kamara in the passing game a lot when they have some of these deeper down the field threats like Traquan Smith. And I just think it's a really, really good spot for the Saints. I think that's a really good time to catch the Buccaneers in this division game. So if I had to play it at this moment, I would still take the Saints +4. I liked it more at 5.5. I like them in a teaser at 10. I've got them in the same game parlay. If you guys didn't catch the morning show, I played a same game parlay here where I have the Saints +14.5, the over 38.5, and then Alvin Kamara over 29.5 receiving yards. All three of those together coming back at even money +100. But I do like the Saints. I think this is a very, very competitive game, and it would not shock me at all if they won this one outright.
Oh, I love both of those plays today. Get those in for the late games. I still have 4 winners to announce, but Jeweler, you got to bring up the Scott text about Prop Stars because I can see Prop Stars sitting in his chair, staring at his cats, reciting his breakdowns. Now I've got that in my head, and I can't stop thinking about it. Oh, my God. His cats are his everything. And, boy, everything about him I love. I just love him so much. Oh, now I can't get that out of my head. Maestro, let me come to you. Your thoughts on me thinking that this -4 line is a sucker line.
Do you mean that it's a setup to try to entice you to bet Tampa Bay?
Yes,
okay.
Absolutely.
Well, it's another pros, Joe's. This is one of those weeks where we're going to see a real split because 80% of the tickets on the Bucs, 82% of the money on the Saints. And that's why this has come down. It did touch 6 briefly all the way down to 4. I'm like Mikey. I like it over 4 for the Saints. They played 3 times last year. The Saints held them under 300 yards of total offense all 3 times. Antonio Brown being out was no big deal against the Bears. It was no big deal against the Eagles. Or actually, did he play in that game? I'm not sure. But it is a big deal today because Marshawn Lattimore and Mike Evans, the history is well documented. He takes him out. He shuts him down pretty much. So, I mean, you still got Godwin. You still got Gronk. You still got Tyler Johnson. You got Leonard Fournette. You got plenty of weapons. But it is a big deal in this matchup. Quan Alexander's back. Marcus Davenport's back. I think the Saints keep it close.
Mm-hmm. AB, what do you got?
Yep, the Bucks are 3-0 against the spread when they are a double-digit favorite this year. The Bucks are 0-4 against the spread when they are not a double-digit favorite this year. However, the Saints play a man defense 37% of the time, 7th most in the NFL. Tom Brady leads the league in touchdown passes against man coverage this year with 13, and he boasts a 122.9 passer rating against man coverage this year. So,
where do you come up with this stuff? It's unbelievable.
Well, we don't have a life or we married, so there we go.
Mikey, did you raise your hand? Did you have something you needed to say?
I did not. No, I was
okay.
Just, no.
Okay,
we're good.
All right, so I got a couple things left to do, and then I'm going to call an audible because we have just a couple extra minutes. So here's our 4 winners, 400 likes. Thank you all very, very much. At Cousin Eddie 33. Interesting. At Quincy 77, at Real Deal 32, and at Lotta Cheddar. At Lotta Cheddar. You are the next 4 winners. You win a year-long membership to SportsLine. The jeweler will reach out to you on social media. Remember, whenever you do anything in the chat, leave your Twitter handle. Now, yeah, Maestro, go ahead.
Yeah, Alex corrected me on something I gave out. I said Judy didn't practice. They did give him a day off, but he practiced 3 days in a row, so he should be good to go.
Of course he texted you that. Of course he did. Now, and I just got to find it. Damn it. Where is it? So we've had a lot of people saying, I want a first game parlay. And I can't find it. They're not giving them out. I was going to do a first touchdown of the game for the Bucks and the Saints, but they're not out yet. So we can't do that. All right. Well, as we know, the game's starting in 6 minutes. You're always like, Coach, give me a couple minutes to get all the picks in. So, Jeweler, let's put up the recap page before we do our final takes of the show. And oh my goodness, take it in, soak it in. I'm not going to read all of them. I'm going to leave it up for 30 or 45 seconds. If you haven't played some of these, you can still get them in. You still have time. This is everything from our mega preview, from our props preview, from this show. All of our official plays on the show are right here. By the way, did I mention we're the most transparent show in sports betting? And I defy you to find one that does more than we do. I defy you. I don't want any more tweets about, oh, you guys do this. No, we are the most transparent show. Okay, period. All right, so I like to end every show giving my guys a 30-second take on what they're most looking forward to for the day. So, AB, start us off.
Yeah, I'm interested to see. We saw the Titans win as an underdog against Buffalo 2 weeks ago. Last week against Kansas City. They're an underdog today against Indianapolis. Next week, Sunday Night Football, they are in Los Angeles against the Rams. If they win this one as an underdog outright, that's 3 straight going into a 4th one. I'm fascinated to see what that line will be.
Awesome. Mikey.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to that game as well. Huge implications, not only in that division, just in the playoffs in general in the AFC. I'm also very interested in that Bucks and Saints game. I think that one has some implications in that division, and I think the Saints are a really healthy team, and this is a game that I think Tampa, they need to I'm very interested to see what they have in this game because it really probably tells us where they truly are this season. So those are the 2 games I'll be watching closely today.
Very good. By the way, we're adding Judy as an official play to that recap screen for those of you that don't see it on there. All right, Maestro, bring us home.
The thing I'm looking at is how the books have been getting beat pretty bad by the public the last 3 or 4 weeks. And then today we have some really big splits where the house really needs one side and the public is all over the other. So I'll be interested to see if it swings back a little bit or if the public keeps hammering it.
All right, very good. So much to look forward to. 8 early games, 4 4:00 games. And oh, by the way, maybe the most fascinating Sunday Night Football game that we've had the entire year when one of the top quarterbacks in the league, we don't know what his status is yet, So you got to tune in at 7:20 Eastern time tonight. We'll break down all the sides, all the totals, certainly all the props of the Cowboys and the Vikings. Did I mention how much me and my crew love doing this for you? We love it so much. We grind and we grind for you. And as you know, as my girl Kelsey said in her amazing video, if you haven't seen it yet on Twitter, go back and check it out. She dressed up as yours truly for Halloween, and she had this down pat. There's only one thing left to do, and you know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these NFL tickets straight to the pay window. For M Squared, for AB, for the maestro, for the jeweler who puts it all together here at the brand. We love you all. Happy Halloween. And we'll see you tonight at 7:20 Eastern time right here on Early Edge Live. Good luck.